With millions of YouTubers, it is only inevitable that a few of them happen to be unstable psychopaths. This may lead them to break the law or simply just document their own erratic behavior. However, out of this come the ones who go on to commit heinous atrocities. With that, here are the YouTubers who ended up being cold-blooded killers. Samantha Wolford was a small-time YouTuber with dreams of becoming famous. Going by the username SimplyManic6075, she would talk about her life as well as the hardships of having 5 kids. Despite this, she would often neglect her children in pursuit of fame. Her husband Ernie, working 2 jobs, would often get into arguments with her about this. Likewise, they would fight about video games consuming his free time. Police would eventually be called to the home and Ernie would be arrested for domestic violence. On February 20th, 2015, Samantha would call her mother for help. When family members arrived, they would find Samantha bound and gagged upstairs. Police would soon be called and she would state that intruders had broken in the house and kidnapped Ernie. However, during interrogation, her story would fall apart. Later, it would be found that Samantha had complained to her friend Johnny Rebel about Ernie, who told her he would take care of it. Together, Johnny, Samantha, and 2 of their friends would plan the murder of Ernie. One of the 3 men would tell Samantha to leave her front door unlocked, which she did. That same night, the 3 men would drive there, smoking crystal meth in the car. Once they arrived, they would enter the home, then kidnap and physically assault Ernie. Ernie would be beaten over the head with a pistol, slapped in the face, and punched. The 3 men would continue this until Ernie was barely conscious. From here, they would drive him to the woods and shoot him in the back of his skull. His body would be left on the ground to rot for the following days. Samantha, as well as the 3 men, would be arrested and sent to prison for the murder of Ernie. As of today, Samantha's YouTube channel still stands, sitting at around 4,000 subscribers.
There's no exposed module for that I know of, but you could use a build prop editor. Now you want to find the one that says ro.rk.systembar.voiceicon.
The name of the man reviewing this device is Lane Davis, known online as Seattle for Truth. Despite this otherwise harmless review, he was an alt-right social media figure and conspiracy theorist. Lane believed that liberal ideology was deeply rooted in pedophilia and that liberals around the world had organized pedophile rings. Without a job at 33 years old, Lane Davis lived with his mother and father in their home in Samish Island, Washington. On July 14, 2017, Lane would get into a heated argument with both his mother and father. Lane's father calling him a racist Nazi, he in response would call his father and mother pedophiles. In the midst of this argument, Lane would pull out his cell phone, threatening to murder his father. This argument would eventually turn physical. Sometime during this, Lane would pull out a knife and stab his 73-year-old father in the neck and chest. Blood would pour out on the wooden back deck as the elderly man dropped dead. After this, Lane would leave through the front door covered head to toe in his father's blood. A nearby neighbor would rush to the house, aiming a pistol at Lane and ordering him to stop moving. From here, he would drop to his knees and wait for the police to come. Lane Davis would soon be arrested and is currently serving 17 years in prison for first-degree murder. As of the writing of this script, his YouTube channel is still up, sitting with 11,000 subscribers. With that being said, most videos are simply re-uploads of clips from the news. Most videos he recorded himself have been taken down due to breaching YouTube's terms of service. Trey Eric Sesler, known on YouTube as Mr. Anime, began his channel on September 14th, 2006. Trey would upload over 320 videos to YouTube within the span of 5 years. Eventually, he would go on to become one of the biggest anime reviewers on the platform. Shifting away from anime reviews, Trey would take a dark turn. In time, he would begin showcasing real guns on his channel and researching serial killers. Along with this, he would begin killing animals, shooting at buildings, as well as starting fires. In a chilling final clip titled "Mr. Anime is Planning Something," he would tell his viewers that he was taking a break from making YouTube videos.
Well, hi everybody, it's Mr. Anime here, and I'm recording on my MacBook's web camera, and my MacBook's from like 4 years ago, so the web camera's not that great, so you'll have to bear with me. This is just an update video to let you guys know that I'm going to reward myself with probably a 2 or 3 week break coming up here from YouTube videos, anime reviews in particular. I might do some blog stuff. I want to thank you guys a lot for sticking with me and watching the channel. I got more subscribers than ever. I have more views than ever, and everything is going really good. So I'll probably be putting out some blog videos, like I said, and I hope you enjoy those blog videos. I hope you definitely enjoy those. And the Google AdSense thing has been going great, and I really appreciate you guys clicking on my page. Well, I won't say it, but you guys know what to do. And I'll see you with some blog videos. Thanks for watching my channel.
Unknown to anyone at the time, his mental health was declining rapidly. On March 20th, 2012, Trey would lure his mother into the garage. Once she entered, he would raise his shotgun, aim and pull the trigger at point-blank range. Trey's mother Rhonda would be hit 4 times in the chest before falling to the ground. Mark, Trey's brother, would come to investigate the noise. During this time, Trey would retrieve a pistol from his bedroom, return, and then shoot Mark. He would then sneak into his parents' bedroom, shooting his father in the head. After this, he would discover that his initial shot of Mark hadn't killed him. Mark had locked himself inside the house bathroom. Trey would soon break down the door and shoot him again, this time ending his life. After seeing his brother's lifeless body on the bathroom floor, he would go on to destroy the home and then kill their family pets. Not being satisfied, he would steal the family car and make his way to Waller High School, a school he'd graduated from. With a rifle and over 100 rounds of ammunition, he'd sit in the parking lot. His plan was to enter the pep rally and kill as many students as possible. Luckily, Trey would not follow through with this and drive away before being arrested by police. Later on, Trey would reveal that he was aiming to kill a minimum of 70 people. According to investigators, Trey claimed to have killed his family because he didn't want them to be ashamed of what he was about to do. However, his story would change several times. Trey Sesler would later be given life in prison. His YouTube channel would later be terminated. Randy Stair, going by the YouTube name Pioneers Productions, created his YouTube channel on June 9th, 2008. During his YouTube career, he would upload 168 videos, originally creating Let's Plays and vlogs. Eventually, he would move on to sketch comedy videos featuring characters voiced by himself. In the following years, Randy would become obsessed with the Nickelodeon show Danny Phantom, even going so far as to create his own characters and attempt to make a spin-off. He would also become obsessed with the Columbine shooting of 1999, often participating in forums dedicated to the massacre. It was here that he would state that he could relate to the 2 killers, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. At this point in his life, his mental health would severely decline. Soon after this, he would begin planning mass murder. Chillingly, the fate of his victims would be decided on a literal coin toss.
Okay, so here's the deal. Got a 1983 quarter right here. You believe in fate? Here's the fate test. I'm gonna flip this 3 times, or the best out of 3 rather, and if it's heads, I'll do it here. If it's tails, supermarket. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna land behind the camera, just to the side. I can't see it. I see it in the grass, but I can't see it. Tails. That is a tails, folks. Tails. Which means there's going to be a loss of a human life, besides my own.
And with this, he would make videos showcasing his weapons and more touring his job at the supermarkets. On June 7th, 2017 at 11 p.m., Randy would make his way to the supermarket, clocking in for his night shift. It was there he would begin the night as usual, with 4 other employees. Using wooden pallets, he would then block off all the doors to the building. After this, he would upload videos to Twitter detailing the shooting. Next, he would retrieve both his Mossberg 500 shotguns from his car. And finally, he would return to the store, shooting his coworker Victoria. After she fell to the ground, he would fire again, this time directly in her skull. Despite her most likely already being dead at this point, he continued to fire rounds into her body. Once he was satisfied, he looked up and spotted another coworker. For whatever reason, he decided to let her live and headed to another location in the store. He would then shoot another employee, Terry Sterling, once in the back and once in the shoulder. Unfortunately, Terry would not survive the attack. Randy would also find his 47-year-old coworker, Brian Hayes, in another aisle. Without hesitating, Randy would aim his shotgun and fire. Brian would receive the shot to his arm and chest and another to his pelvis. One more shot would hit the side of his skull. In total, Brian would be shot 5 times by Randy's shotgun. During this time, one of the coworkers would escape the building and survive. Randy would make his way through the store, shooting at random merchandise before walking to the deli section. It was here he would turn the gun on himself, ending his own life. Later on, investigators would search Randy's room. Here, they would find his journals where he planned his massacre. Within the journal, it would be discovered that Randy was worried about something happening after his killing spree. The thing he was worried about was his parents throwing away his Danny Phantom posters after learning about his crimes. Elliot Rodgers, known as Valtharion on YouTube, was an incel who posted videos about how he couldn't attract women.
I've been attending college in Santa Barbara for about 2.5 years now. And in those 2.5 years, I've experienced nothing but loneliness and misery. And my problem is girls. There are so many beautiful girls here, but none of them give me a chance, and I don't know why. I don't know why you girls are so repulsed by me. It doesn't make sense. I do everything I can to appear attractive to you. I dress nice. I'm sophisticated. I'm magnificent. I have a nice car, a BMW. Well, it's nicer than 90% of the people at my college. You know, I'm polite. I'm the ultimate gentleman. And yet, you girls, you never give me a chance. I don't know why.
Despite being very rich, he had a superiority complex and was toxic, which would ultimately scare them away. Not understanding this would lead to a deep anger building up within him. Elliot would create his YouTube channel on July 23rd, 2012, uploading a total of 20 videos. Despite having been in therapy since a young age, his mental health would continue to decline. During this time, he would often post on misogynistic forums, growing more and more frustrated about his inability to attract a partner. Then, on May 23rd, 2014, Elliot would wait for his roommates to arrive to their apartment. Once he entered the house, Elliot would begin brutally stabbing him. From here, he would drag the body to another location in the house and then clean up the blood with bath towels. Later, another roommate would return home and Elliot would repeat the process, violently stabbing him, dragging his body, and then cleaning up the mess. After the third and final roommate arrived home, Elliot would murder him as well. With 3 dead bodies in the home, he would leave the apartment and go to a coffee shop. There, he would upload his final video to YouTube.
Hi, Elliot Rodgers here. Well, this is my last video. It all has to come to this. Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity, against all of you. For the last 8 years of my life, ever since I've hit puberty, I've been forced to endure an existence of loneliness, rejection, and unfulfilled desires, all because girls have never been attracted to me. Girls gave their affection and sex and love to other men, but never to me. I'm 22 years old and I'm still a virgin. I've never even kissed a girl. I've been through college for 2.5 years, more than that actually, and I'm still a virgin.
After this, he would drive to a nearby sorority house but was unable to get inside. He would then fire his gun at 3 nearby women, killing 2 and injuring the 3rd. Elliot would return to his vehicle, shooting randomly into the streets. A man would be shot 7 times, dying from the attack. Elliot would continue driving through the streets, this time on the wrong side of the road and hitting a pedestrian. He would also fire his gun at a couple walking across a sidewalk. Luckily, he'd miss. However, his next 3 victims would be shot and injured. Soon after this, he would enter a shootout with police. After fleeing, he would run over several more people before eventually crashing. At 9:35 p.m., he would be found in his car, having shot himself in the head. In the end, Elliot Rodgers would claim the lives of 6 victims. YouTube would terminate his channel in the days following this. Located in Finland, Pekka Erik Avinen would create the YouTube channel Natural Selector 89 on March 15, 2007. During his time on the site, he would upload 141 videos which are now deleted. Within the videos, he would discuss his strong political beliefs as well as massacres such as the Columbine shootings. On November 7th, 2007, Pekka would upload one final video to YouTube. He would create a slideshow of pictures of himself aiming guns at the camera. Along with this, he would update his YouTube description to read, "I am prepared to fight and die for my cause." I, as a natural selector, will eliminate all who I see unfit, disgraces of human race and failures of natural selection. I have had enough. I don't want to be a part of this fucked up society. Like some other wise people have said in the past, human race is not worth fighting for or saving, only worth killing. Pekka would go on to say, I am ready to die for a cause I know is right, just, and true. Even if I would lose or the battle would only be remembered as evil, I will rather fight and die than live a long and unhappy life. At around 11:40 a.m., Pekka would enter his high school having missed his first class to upload the video. Here, he would enter the basement, make his way to the school corridor, and shoot a 17-year-old student. The student would fall to the ground and die moments later. Following this, Pekka would enter the bathroom. During this time, other students would find his first victim and call emergency services, thinking that he had somehow hit his head. However, Pekka would soon begin firing at other students, killing 2 more in the process. The school nurse would call the police but would soon be shot dead by Pekka while she tried to escape. At around 11:47 a.m., the headmaster would make an announcement telling all students to stay in their classrooms. In response to this, Pekka would fire his gun 53 times through the corridors. He would move on to the second floor of the building, soon killing another victim. For whatever reason, he would spare the student sitting next to her. Next, he would use matches and accelerant to attempt to light the school on fire. Fortunately, he would fail and the fire would not spread. And with this, he would leave the school, finding the 61-year-old headmistress standing outside. Here, he would aim his gun and fire, ending her life. She would be his 8th and final victim. However, he would not stop here. Pekka would re-enter the school, encouraging other students to join him in his revolution. When they refused, he shot a window as well as a television. Moments later, police would surround the school. This would result in a gun battle. This would not last long as Pekka would enter a bathroom, put the gun to his head, and pull the trigger. He would survive for a few hours before dying at a nearby hospital. Following the massacre, YouTube would delete the account of Pekka as well as all of his videos.